there, I'm X King. Welcome back to another episode of From the Archive. Today I am talking about the live-action remake of Dumbo. For those of you who don't know, Dumbo was an animated movie initially released by Walt Disney in the 1960s, and it was about an elephant who had to overcome his birth defect of long ears. He does this by learning how to fly. And that's the general gist of the original animated movie. The live-action remake was announced in 2014 with Tim Burton to direct. There were rumors that Will Smith was initially cast as Holt and Tom Hanks as Vanderveer, but both apparently had to drop out because of scheduling conflicts. Eva Green had to take lessons from a professional aerialist to overcome a crippling fear of heights for her role as, well, an aerialist. Then the film was mainly shot on a set due to the fact that there really wasn't a place in America where they could do this film and not have weather be a problem. They ended up also building a life-size Casey Jr. for the film. That would have been really cool to actually see in real life, I'm not going to lie. And the film was released on March 29th, 2019. The film did really well financially at the box office, making $373 million on a budget of $175 million. The critics were split, however, as some of the critics thought this was nice, innocent fun for the whole family, while other critics thought it lost what made the original so good. And what do I think about it? Well, let's talk about it. So, Dumbo, in this case, follows Millie and Joe, played by Nico Parker and Finley Hoppins respectively, who are the children of a famous trick rider in this circus called the Medici Brothers Circus. However, he went off to war, and while he was on war, their mother died, and when he returns from war, he has lost an arm, and all his horses have been sold to pay for the circus's debt, apparently. So the only job left for him is to tend to the elephants. And one of those elephants is Miss Jumbo. And if you remember anything from the original Dumbo, you know where the story's going to go from here. Jumbo births Dumbo. Dumbo is made fun of because of his ears. During his first performance, Miss Jumbo goes on a rampage. She ends up being chained and called a mad elephant. In this film, she is sold off. So now Dumbo has to hopefully find a way to get the circus enough money to buy his mother back, with the assistance of these two kids who find out he can fly with the assistance of a feather. However, after his first successful flight, his circus is bought by Mr. Vanderveer, played by Michael Keaton, and they all end up going to this place called Dreamland, which is basically Tim Burton's version of a amusement park, and Dumbo finds his mother is there, and now they all have to work together to save Miss Jumbo and Dumbo. So yeah, as you can probably tell, there's a little bit of a difference between this and the original animated movie. For one, the original animated movie focused solely on Dumbo and his journey. This film gives us two human kids and a subplot about a father returning from war and having to reconnect with his kids. The movie is still called Dumbo, right? Like, we should be focusing on Dumbo. That being said, I do have to bring this up. I am not a fan of the original Dumbo. I thought it was fine. I felt it was serviceable. I felt it was vanilla ice cream. Sweet, but nothing deep inside. This version is the exact same criticisms. It's sweet and innocent, nothing deep inside, no real deep thought necessary, but it's still a half-decent family film that I think families would enjoy watching together once in a while. I don't care for this film, but I don't care for the original story. And the stories, as far as I'm concerned here, are relatively fine. I mean, this does the Dumbo story. It just does it in the first 30 minutes as opposed to the entire runtime. I do wish maybe they added more to Dumbo's journey and focused more on him, but I mean, to be honest, I didn't really care, and I felt the story was fine as is. Unfortunately, the characters, however, really suck. I mean, the kids who are the main focus of the film are completely one-dimensional. Holt, as a protagonist who's trying to like reconnect with his kids, is just not interesting, and I don't really feel like I have reason to root for the character. Vanderveer is a terrible antagonist, as, well, he does stuff, I guess, and he's kind of evil. I mean, he orders the death of Miss Jumbo towards the end of the movie, but there's no reason for him to do that. He could just keep Miss Jumbo around and, well, that would, like, force Dumbo to work for him. I mean, seriously, I don't understand that particular business decision. And then you have the performances, which don't help matters as they're all over the place. You have performers like Colin Farrell, Michael Keaton, and Eva Green, who are all really over the top and goofy in this film. And then you have the kids, who are very one-dimensional and wooden in their performances. I don't understand this. Tim Burton's a good director, and he usually has consistency in his actors. Usually they're overacting sometimes, other times that he makes it work. But I've never seen so many characters act so differently in the same world as one another as I have in this film from him. The only performer who I feel like is doing a legitimate good job is Danny DeVito as Max Minichi, the guy who runs the initial circus where Dumbo is from. And he's really good in the film. All of the funny moments is when he's on screen. And that has a lot to do with Danny DeVito's chemistry with the camera and his charisma that really comes across in his performance. So then we have the visuals, and to be honest, they're one of the good shining moments of this film. The set design and production design are all really good. And the CGI on Dumbo is really well done, as he is really adorable and his facial expressions are just perfect. Then you have the music, which of course in a Tim Burton film is done by Danny Elfman. And this is your typical Danny Elfman score. It has big booming themes. He adds a little bit of circus music to go with the circus feel of the movie. But overall, it's still just a fine Danny Elfman score. It's not bad, and it is definitely worth the listen, but I kind of want more when I have Danny Elfman scoring my movie. At the end of the day, the live-action Dumbo, it's fine. I mean, again, I never liked the original, so I wasn't going to be completely mad that they changed the story here. That being said, I do wish they focused on Dumbo more. I mean, this film focuses so much on these other characters, but fails to make them interesting. That being said, it is a decent visual spectacle, there's some good music, and the story's not terrible, and it is worth like a watch for families. That being said, is it a buy, a stream, which of course you can do on Disney Plus, or an avoid altogether? Well, let's talk about the bonus features. The bonus features on this Blu-ray are deleted scenes, Easter eggs, which go over the Easter eggs in the movie, bloopers, and a behind-the-scenes look at the magic of Dumbo, aka a behind-the-scenes featurette of Dumbo. And honestly, they're fine. They are perfectly serviceable as special features, but this movie is not worth a buy. It's really generic and doesn't have anything interesting in it. That being said, I do think if you have a family, yeah, definitely put this on. It's definitely worth a watch. I would stick to it on streaming. I definitely wouldn't buy it. But if you have a family, this is a perfectly serviceable film. If you don't have a family, yeah, avoid this one. There's nothing here for you. Anyway, that's what I felt about the live-action remake of Dumbo. What do you think about it? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you hit that bell to be notified when I post new content. And next week, we're going back to the Best Picture well for Tom Jones. See you then.